There was a lot of anticipation, mental preparation, just the sheer act of convincing yourself about your intentions, about your goals, about your aspirations of what you intend to accomplish if and when you get into Gaza. Once we were able to enter through the Rafah crossing, subhanAllah, it was such a tremendous feeling because now we felt like we were able to set out and complete our task, what we were setting out ourselves to do. There's pure devastation in Gaza. I can give a contrast from 2019 when I was there previously to this visit here in 2024, and there was devastation then. And when you look at it now, that devastation is 1,000-fold more. And yet the people there behave and act and function day to day with a very similar degree of resilience, with faith in Allah and with determination to overcome. The hospital community immediately told us how much they appreciate the effort of just visiting them. They understand the complexity of bringing a team in from outside of Gaza, the steps it takes to bring supplies and much needed equipment and expertise into the healthcare field there. And so they were truly also appreciative of our families, of our community, for lending us to this mission trip. The need for medical personnel is immense. The number of patients far exceeds the amount of medical personnel. These tent cities are within the hospital confines as well. I had a daily walk between the emergency room and the ICU. I would say at least a dozen to 24 times I'd walk between those two units. And you walk through corridors where half of the corridor is lined by sheets and drapes and partitions separating displaced families. The first few nights, though, we heard some bombs, missiles, we heard blasts, some of which even shook the room we were at. And it didn't seem like they were close, but they were strong enough that they shook the space we were all sleeping in. But it didn't take but 2 or 3 days of us being there that we realized around midnight, around 1 o'clock, when all the families were together at home sleeping, there were attacks. And so we were woken up because of these. We connected with the emergency room team, and we understood that there were multi-traumas coming into the emergency room. So it became our routine where we'd come back after a day's work, get a little bit of rest, and prepare ourselves for returning to the emergency room in the evenings, in the early hours, typically between 11 p.m. and 3 or 4 a.m., trying to help the local team treat a lot of these trauma patients that were coming in as a result of the blast injuries. You see the on-the-ground videos that are shared on social media. And yes, that is what you see there. I think when you add in 3D spatial sound effects, shelling, artillery, missiles, bombing, screaming, blood seeping on the ground, tears, you can't prepare for that. I've seen children's smiles in such adverse times, and it's made me realize that even through adversity, you still have God's blessings. I've seen families who have lost loved ones maintain composure somehow. I think the Palestinian people have such strong iman. Their faith is so strong that you cannot break them. I think this experience will 100% change who I am, how I act, how I take care of patients, how I speak to family members, how I speak to my own family members. These mission trips are not possible without donor support. We rely on the community at large to support these mission trips so that we can provide and acquire supplies, medications, aid that is so critical to the work we do in these underserved areas, especially Gaza. I can tell you my community in Charlotte, North Carolina, they provided such incredible support to myself, to Lubna, my wife, and the children, assuring us that they had our backing, that they had Lubna's backing in the time of our need.